with the U.S. adding Navy cruisers, destroyers, and fighter jets to bolster its anti-missile defenses. President Biden adding he, quote, hopes Iran will stand down.
Election 2024, we're waiting to see who Vice President Kamala Harris picks to be her running mate. Here's Selena Wang.
Sources tell ABC News Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with top contenders at her residence in D.C., including popular first-term Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, a former prosecutor, Arizona Senator and retired astronaut Mark Kelly, the husband of Gabby Giffords, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, a retired school teacher and former congressman.
Right now in Nashville, Channel 4 talked to people who were on a ghost tour downtown last night and got the fright of their lives.
Gunshots had rang out. I always like to tell people that this is a very safe part of town, but now to hear that it happened in front of the Hermitage Hotel, that's a little concerning.
Yeah, Metro Police say they arrested two teenagers, ages 17 and 15, for their alleged involvement in a drug-related shooting near the Hermitage Hotel last night around 7:30. Market Numbers report. Market Numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management. Online at beaconcm.com. Dow futures down 907. S&P futures down 181. NASDAQ futures down 916. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Information fueled,
opinion driven. This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk news.
7:07 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in to your Monday, August 5th. So kids in Nashville, of course, this is their last day of summer vacation. Parents, rejoice. Your kids are going back to school here in Nashville tomorrow. Wilson County, it was Friday, but now they're really going back on today. What I said on Friday was, Friday's day for Wilson County was like spring training. And so now the real day is today. Ken?
Yes, Brother Dan Mandis, don't forget about Williamson County. They're back at school today.
Are they?
Yep.
Okay, Williamson County.
Yep, put your cell phones down.
Yes, that you tell that to the kids, too. You're there to learn, not to take pictures and text and Instagram.
And if you don't, we're going to put you in timeout.
That's exactly right. Do they still do that? Put kids in timeout?
I don't even think they do that.
Oh, all right.
I think they give them a sucker.
That's why kids are out of control. Hey, Ken.
Yeah.
So you were talking about gunshots at a ghost tour?
Yeah.
A Nashville ghost tour?
Yes.
So, number one, I had no idea they did Nashville ghost tours.
Oh, yes.
Have you been on one?
No, I haven't, but I'd like to go on one someday.
Man, we got to do a boys trip. Johnny, you in?
I'm in. You know, they say the best one is, they say one of the best is in Franklin.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, because of all the Civil War.
Civil War stuff.
Yeah.
There's actually a reality show, I believe. Some dudes have a reality show where they run around chasing ghosts here in Tennessee.
Really? So when they go to Nashville, can they find the ghost of country music?
That's pretty good.
You know, in a couple of years, can we visit the ghost of bro country? All right. Moving right along.
You'll know it's them when they're when they're with spirits wearing short jean skirts and
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly right. The ghost tour in L.A. was one of the best things I ever did. It was so much fun.
Oh, yeah?
I saw where Janis Joplin died.
Yeah.
I saw where John Belushi bought his last bottle of liquor and all kinds of other stuff, too. So, yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
So, did you see any ghosts?
No, basically, it's where heinous crimes happened.
Oh, okay.
That is where... That for L.A., and by the way, that's like every block.
I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
boy, the Black Dahlia. Ooh.
Yeah, Black Dahlia is another one.
Yeah.
When it was standing, the Charles Manson house, where they did all those murders, I go back far enough to have seen that home.
I saw
on the tour.
I saw the Sharon Tate home. Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon Tate. That's exactly right.
Well, that was, you talk about a home that was just, it sounds gruesome to say, but perfect for that. It was so off to itself.
Yep.
Oh,
it was.
Man.
It was. And people used to just go up. People used to sneak up into there.
Oh, yeah.
And just check out, try to check it out. A guy lived there for like 25 years afterwards. And he just said, yeah, it's just like any other house, which is fine.
Oh, Lord.
I could live in one of those homes. Anyway, so very cool. Where was I going with this?
Well, I guess we're going to talk about the shooting outside this.
Oh yeah. So is anybody hurt there on the ghost tour?
Yes, a 34-year-old man. I don't know if he was part of the tour.
Yeah.
But a 34-year-old man was shot. He ran to the hotel for help.
Odd.
He was being treated, fortunately, for non-life-threatening wounds. He was shot twice, according to police.
Yeah.
They took into custody two teenagers, a 17 and a 15-year-old, in a drug-related ordeal.
I'm sure he's getting his life back together, these two kids.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that's going on.
Oh, sure.
All right. Well, in some other news, Donald Trump was in Georgia over the weekend.
Crazy Kamala, ultra-left, you know that. She was here a week ago, lots of empty seats. But the crowd she got was because she had entertainers. And it all started to unfold when they started to leave about 10 minutes into the speech. It was very boring. I don't need entertainers. I fill the stadium because I'm making America great again. That's our entertainment. That's our entertainment, making America great again.
Yeah. We all know about the whole Megan Thee Stallion story. Where, do you know, apparently they were like twerking on stage?
Yeah.
During that
there's
Kamala Harris concert.
Have you ever read the lyrics to some of Megan Thee Stallion's songs?
I sure have. I was horrified.
Yeah.
Appropriately so, by the way. So you got, Kamala Harris and they announce a free Megan Thee Stallion concert. Then Megan comes on, does her twerking and all that stuff. And then out comes, pantsuit Kamala or whatever she was wearing.
And people start leaving.
Maybe they would have stayed if Kamala would have started twerking.
Oh, I think they probably would have left.
That would be something.
There's a thought.
Have Joe Biden come out and twerk.
All right. Anyway, here's more.
Yesterday, it was announced that unemployment is surging, with 350,000 Americans joining the unemployment rolls just last month. Tell you what, we could end up in a depression. We could end up in World War III and a depression. How about that?
Yeah. What are our two biggest stories today? Our two biggest stories are the economy and what's going to happen, and also what's going to happen in Israel. On Friday, you remember the Dow dropped. It was 600 points, right? There were global sell-offs. The Fed still won't drop interest rates. They said maybe in September, but now we're hearing that there might be an emergency meeting to drop those rates. The S&P 500 sank 1.8%. This is from Market Watch. The U.S. job market is cooling down, they say. Teen and 20-something workers are going to be among the first to feel it. The country's youngest employees, ages 16 to 24, will be among the earliest and hardest hit by a weakening labor market, making goals like landing a summer gig or breaking into the working world out of college harder to pull off. But you know what? Here's the thing. Who cares, man? Because she's got Megan Thee Stallion at her events, and she's got Beyonce songs in her commercials. So who cares, right?
A woman president, man. How exciting.
I mean, I got to tell you.
Yeah, dude.
Israel's about to be attacked by Iran because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden funded their terrorism, and our economy's about to go to crap. But you know what?
A woman president, man. How exciting.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. Hey,
all that stuff doesn't matter because, you know, we've got Megan Thee Stallion, and we've got Beyonce,
and the dude,
and we've got
a woman president, man. How exciting!
The dude.
Oh, wow, man.
Do you think when Israel is getting bombed by Iran that they'll be sitting there thinking,
a woman president, man? How exciting!
Or do you think they'll be like, oh crap? Well, this is a result of Joe Biden allowing all of those lifted sanctions against Iran. And Kamala Harris has proudly said many, many times that all the decisions that Joe Biden made, she was right there. She was one of the last ones in the room, including the failed pullout of Afghanistan, and it would appear the funding of Iran and all of that terrorism against Israel. But apparently, according to low information voters,
a woman president, man. How exciting.
Even all those 16 to 24-year-olds who are going to be losing their jobs, not be able to get jobs coming out of college and so forth because of the economy, which is about to be absolutely torched. Do you think, you know, they'll be really excited just because?
A woman president, man. How exciting.
I hope that people understand, and I hope that these younger voters are able to make the correlation between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and their economic policies and what is going on with the job market. I hope that they can get beyond the Beyonce. I hope that they can get beyond Megan Thee Stallion. I hope that they can get beyond the moronic Jeff Bridges.
A woman president, man. How exciting.
And understand the consequences of failed leadership. 7:16, time to check the roads on WTN. Thank you very much. Sunny today and a high of 96 degrees. And right now, Johnny, you said it's 71?
77.
77. That's what I said. 77 at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm sorry. I'm so giddy.
A woman president, man. How exciting.
I mean, that is what's in my mind right now, not the temperatures.
No, man. We're excited. First woman president, Dan.
Can't wait, man.
Hey, man. How exciting.
By the way, here's what Donald Trump said.
The cartels will be crushed, crime will plummet, incomes will soar, the wars will end, and the American dream will come roaring back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before, right? Yes?
So listen to how the Associated Press puts all of this. You know, Donald Trump and his big rally and so forth. Cue the misinformation alert, which we really need some sort of a misinformation alert so that we can play it. That would be like a daily thing here on WTN because we chronicle the misinformation of the mainstream media. But they're comparing and contrasting Harris's event with Donald Trump's. Again, this is the Associated Press. Harris, the first woman, the first black woman, and the first person of South Asian descent to serve as vice president, drew a racially and generationally mixed, though majority black, majority female crowd. Democrats danced to R&B, hip-hop, and pop music. Apparently they twerked as well. They rocked with guest star Megan Thee Stallion, and they exploded for Beyonce's Freedom, which has become Harris's entrance song and campaign anthem. Trump, they say, drew an overwhelmingly white audience with a noticeable presence of black voters. The playlist leaned to his eclectic musical tastes, the Village People and ABBA among them, but featured plenty of country music as well. The crowd erupted as the first notes of his signature walk-up song, God Bless the USA, by Donald Trump supporter Lee Greenwood began. But see, the thing about the whole Harris and how they described the Kamala Harris event is that they don't point out that for Kamala Harris, it was promoted as a Megan Thee Stallion free concert. And then she came out and she did her little speech. Now, others will tell you that that's not how it actually happened, that it was billed as a Kamala Harris show or a Kamala Harris event with Megan Thee Stallion, and that nobody left after Kamala Harris started speaking. Videos on the internet, by the way, will tell you a remarkably different story than what the Associated Press is reporting. But you know what? Whatever. Here's the thing about Donald Trump, is that you cannot deny the fact that he is getting thousands of people basically by himself at his events across America, including in Georgia. Now, CNN and other places, they are gravitating and glomming onto this comment.
President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ. They love dealing with low IQ people, and they got them here, I'll tell you. We got them all.
All right, so people, including some conservatives, hand-wringing over the, quote, and I'm going to air quote here, personal attacks. Now, I'm not going to sweat it because, again, they attack him just as bad.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I don't believe that he needs to do that. However, I'm not going to sweat it because here's the thing. The more that Kamala Harris talks, the more people realize that she is literally an empty suit. Now, as Donald Trump is comparing her, talking about her being a low IQ individual, I would say all you've got to do is just listen to the sound bites.
Kamala pledged to give free taxpayer-funded health care to all illegal aliens. How do you like that idea?
Right. So stick to that, Donald Trump. Stick to that. And it is true. And then he hit her on the Second Amendment. And that is absolutely true when she talks about wanting to take away people's guns.
She supports mandatory gun confiscation. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. Would anybody mind if they came into your house and took away your gun or your guns?
So this is what she said. I don't know if I've played this one yet. This is what Kamala Harris said regarding the Second Amendment and a mandatory gun buyback program. Come on, computer, don't fail me now. I think my computer...
Believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons, and whether or not you do, how does that idea not go against fundamentally the Second Amendment?
Yeah, great question. I do believe that we need...
You notice she said, great question, which in Kamala'ese means, oh, crap.
Need to do buybacks, and I'll tell you why. First of all, let's be clear about what assault weapons are. They have been designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. They are weapons of war with no place on the streets of a civil society. I've seen assault weapons kill babies and police officers. So, one, I'll tell you, when elected president, if the United States Congress continues to fail to have the courage to do something about this, I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country.
I mean, she goes on and on. So, yes, she is for a mandatory gun buyback program. What I don't know is if that is one of the issues that she has flip-flopped on, but she does keep flip-flopping on a number of different issues. And so what I don't know is if that is one of those issues. She's flip-flopped on all of the things that she tried to push when she was running for president way back when. That's number one. And number two, she's trying to run from her record, such as it is, as vice president. So we've got that story for you. It continues to develop. Also, headline on CNN right now, global markets plunge amid Wall Street uncertainty. We've been covering this all morning long. Ken Weaver, what's coming up?
Yeah, we'll give you a preview of that. We've got Rebecca Jarvis, who is the financial reporter there for ABC News. She's got a preview of what could happen on Wall Street this morning, what has been happening on Wall Street. Hurricane Debbie made landfall. We'll tell you what's next. Israel bracing for retaliation. And credit card skimmers showing up in Franklin. We'll tell you where at 7:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken. 724 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, the Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986. Going to check it right now. Hopefully you folks have been checking in all morning long. You know, we're watching this calamity with the stock market perhaps today. Dow futures down over 1,000 points ahead of the market open today. I want to tell you, it is an election year. There's also crazy things going on with the job market and our economy. I bet you're wondering if you're invested for the future and for your retirement, regardless of what happens with our current presidential election. Well, Paul Winkler can help you out. Now, Paul has been on the radio here in Middle Tennessee for nearly 20 years. And Paul and his team, they're all former investment brokers, insurance agents. One was even a securities attorney who worked for a big financial company. Now, they know the investing world inside and out. They are ready to put that knowledge to work for you. Check out Paul and his entire team at paulwinkler.com. They are fee-based. In other words, no commissions, which means that they're not trying to sell you something. They want to teach you how to relax about money, even on days like today. Call them. Tell them Dan told you to reach out at 615-851-1950. 615-851-1950. You can find them online. It is paulwinkler.com.
7:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories this Monday morning. It is back to school in Williamson County today, so put away that phone. Pay attention to the speed limits and to what's going on in those pickup and drop-off zones. Law enforcement's watching. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. International markets taking a hit today as fears of a possible U.S. recession grows. Here's Rebecca Jarvis.
Overnight, Japan's Nikkei plunged 12%, its worst day since the 1987 Black Monday crash. Here, investors are responding to that Friday jobs market report showing that employers added just 114,000 jobs in July, and that was well below the 185,000 forecast.
Hurricane Debbie, packing 80-mile-per-hour winds, has made landfall in Florida's Big Bend as a Cat 1 storm, expected to stall out over the Carolinas and Georgia, creating history-making flooding. A scary possibility. Israel bracing for retaliation for the deaths of 2 top terrorists last week.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke to G7 leaders yesterday, reportedly warning them Iran could strike Israel within the next 24 hours. According to the website Axios, Blinken said the U.S. doesn't know the exact time of a planned attack by Iran, but it could begin as early as today. Iran's supreme leader ordered a strike on Israel after last week's assassination of a top Hamas leader in Tehran.
That is Christiane Cordero reporting. And here in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 says more credit card skimmers are turning up, not just at gas stations. This customer surprised to learn several were found at self-checkout lanes at Kroger stores in Franklin.
I haven't ever suspected that somebody would try to steal, info from me here. I think it's becoming more and more prevalent, even in our safe little communities. We feel safe, right? Yeah. But we probably need to be more careful and have better ways to protect ourselves.
Yeah, so these skimmers were found on some self-checkout credit card readers at the Kroger stores in Franklin on Mallory Lane, Murfreesboro Road, and Hillsboro Road. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. 732, Dan Mandis here. I use Zero Res to clean my carpets, and you should too. Now, I've got dogs and kids, a big backyard full of dirt that does get tracked in all the time. So it does feel like I'm calling Zero Res every few months. Now, you know that with Zero Res, they clean with powered water. No harsh chemicals, no soap, and no residue, just soft and fluffy carpets that are going to stay clean longer. Now, right now, they've got a great offer going on. 3 rooms of carpets cleaned for only $99, 20% off of air duct cleaning as well when you use promo code DUCT20. Now, it's back to school time. Get back to clean carpets with Zero Res. They've got thousands of Google and Facebook reviews and, of course, my review. Zero Res gets 2 thumbs up. Now, don't forget that great deal. 3 rooms of carpets cleaned for only $99, 20% off of air duct cleaning when you use promo code DUCT20. Restrictions may apply. Find them online, ZeroResNashville.com, 615-535-9376, 615-535-9376. You can book online, ZeroResNashville.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It is the right way to clean.
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. It's really simple. We bring you an all-cash offer. You close in as little as 21 days. No home inspections, no lockboxes, no open houses. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
$7:39, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here. Coming up at 8:35, Ken Weaver, Johnny B.
Yeah, Brother Dan.
Can we talk about this story regarding RFK and the dead bear cub?
Yeah, this follows the story he told about a worm apparently eating part of his brain, too, at some point. Remember that?
I do. There's a story out there this morning, and I don't know how big of a deal this is. It doesn't seem to be a big deal to me, but I guess he was out falconing, which is the practice of using birds of prey to hunt animals, I guess. And he happened along a dead bear cub.
Yeah.
And they threw it in the back of the truck, and I guess they were going to utilize it for meat or whatever.
Yeah, they were going to eat it.
And then they decided not to, and they dumped the carcass in Central Park in New York.
Yeah, apparently he had to catch a flight, according to his story, and didn't have time to harvest it correctly, so they just dropped it off in Central Park.
And may I ask, why tell this story?
Because some publication is going to print the story here in the coming days.
Oh.
So
damage control.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is this? I'm just sort of shrugging at this. It just seems rather,
well, according to polls,
bizarre to me, but
according to polls, he's polling like 6 to 9%. So I don't know. I mean, maybe some in that 6 to 9% might be bear lovers and decide to go with Trump or Kamala.
What did bear taste like? I don't know. You guys ever eaten bear?
I've never eaten bear.
I don't know if I would.
Is that what he wanted to do? He wanted to eat the bear?
That's what he said. He was going to harvest it for its meat.
Well, he is a Kennedy.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of anybody eating a bear.
But apparently he decided to go ahead and tell it, kind of like, he's sitting around with friends and they're just, oh, yeah, man, I remember that.
Did he do anything illegal? Like, is it illegal to dump a bear in Central Park?
Probably.
Dead?
I'm sure it is.
I'd be willing to bet that is illegal.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you can go around dumping dead animals off in New York.
No. Especially like
the mafia can drop dead bodies all day long.
Hey, man.
There's no such thing as the mafia.
I don't want to encroach on our territory. We're just businessmen, Mr. Don.
And I forget what river you call it. I'd spent years and years since I even thought about New York. But there's the one river, and there's all the Hudson River and the dead bodies all.
Yes.
No such thing.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. What?
Nothing. Nothing. All right, moving on. 742, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. I want to get to this audio. Now, earlier we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion, who was there at the Kamala event. And there's twerking and all this other kinds of stuff. And, people were pointing out that that's the kind of thing that was going on at the Kamala event, twerking and, really, music that was really graphic and, whatever. I mean, that's what you're going to get with a Kamala event, apparently. Well, at the Trump rally in Atlanta, a woman named Michaela Montgomery, she is a conservative, a political activist, an incredible advocate for Donald Trump, and yes, she is black as well. She took to the stage and stole the show. And I got to tell you, you want to compare the kind of people that were, quite frankly, at the Kamala Harris function as opposed to the Donald Trump function?
And I don't want to hear, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else, so it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they want to vote for Kamala Harris.
I mean, she was on fire. And again, this is Michaela Montgomery. She took the internet by storm. She went viral over the weekend with a lot of these sound bites.
We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%.
Yep.
And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy, so I'm going to need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November.
And wait till you hear what Michaela said about Kamala Harris and Slick Willie. It's all coming up next at 7:45. Time to check the roads on WTN. Thank you very much. Sunny today, a high of 96, 77 degrees now at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By all accounts, Donald Trump's visit to Georgia was an incredible success. I've played you audio of Trump and his speech. It was a great speech. The media is obsessing over the fact that he reignited the feud with Georgia Governor Kemp, the former president saying he is a bad guy. That's in quotes, of course. He also spoke a little bit about Kamala Harris and, where she's from and all that nonsense. I'm just going to tell you that I thought that Trump over the weekend in Georgia, by and large, it was a great speech, but it was preceded by an incredible speech by this Michaela Montgomery, a black woman who absolutely tore apart Kamala Harris.
The left wants you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game. See, See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
I mean, that is really the money quote. And of course, y'all know I've been talking about this. I believe that this is free game. Kamala Harris, because, you know, if they're going to talk about Trump's character, then we can talk about theirs. And so Kamala Harris, how did she get her start in politics? By having an affair with Willie Brown, Slick Willie, as they used to say, the mayor of San Francisco, and on it goes. She also spoke about Donald Trump and what he did for the black community.
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours. When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no. Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities.
Yep. I mean, we know that that's what Donald Trump offered. And the more that Michaela spoke, the more you wanted her to keep going. And by the way, I understand this is the easiest segment that I've ever done in talk radio because their audio really does speak for itself.
Just as a woman, period. How can you be a champion for women's rights when you're taking away opportunities from biological women and giving them to transgendered ones? I'll wait, y'all, because I wasn't done. See, how can you promote equity for women and you're allowing men to play in women's sports? And what kind of feminist would still allow men to enter their sacred spaces, i.e. our bathrooms and school locker rooms?
I mean, she was hitting all the high points. She was. And then she brought up something that I think is a very legit conversation, and I don't believe that it gets enough discussion, and that is the vaccine mandates and its impact on the black community.
Biden-Harris administration forced Americans to take an experimental vaccine and took away their jobs, their livelihoods, and their freedoms if they refused. Trump gave us a choice and Biden gave us a mandate. Hey, y'all, because I'm about to kill him with this one. So the next time the left wants to tell you that, hey, abortion is a right and you need to protect your medical freedoms, remember that they took those freedoms away from men and women the second they got in office, and there's nothing stopping them from doing it again.
There you go. And she's right, and that really did impact the black community because, as you folks know, there is a serious distrust of vaccines in the black community and amongst many Americans, but particularly because of what happened in the past. And, you know, she's talking about it. And yet a lot of people that did lose their jobs thanks to the Biden administration and those vaccine mandates. One more from this incredible woman, Michaela Montgomery, as she opened the show for Donald Trump in Atlanta.
So lastly, again, I'm going to encourage you all to vote based on the facts and not feelings. Oh, he made me feel so bad when he said that. Okay, but they hurt your families when they sent all your tax dollars overseas. Oh, it hurts my feelings when he acts like that. Okay, but it hurts all of us when you see an administration failing their country that they were elected to represent.
So there you go. That's what you get. You know, common sense and a lot of great pro-American messages versus what you got at the Kamala Harris event, which is a lot of twerking and offensive lyrics. And I do know I sound like I'm, get off my lawn Mandis. I understand that. But all I'm saying is I think it's a It's a very telling comparison. It is 7:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here. Back to school time. And my friends at United Structural Systems, they know that new school clothes and supplies are expensive. So they're offering a great back to school promotion. They're going to offer you 10% off of any job over $2,500, along with special financing options as well. No payments and no interest for an entire year. Now, that's a great deal. You know, they can fix your foundation. They can help you with waterproofing and concrete leveling, to name just a few. They've been helping Middle Tennesseans for over 30 years. Now, don't forget that great deal that I just told you about. 10% off of any job over $2,500, along with special financing options as well. No payments and no interest for an entire year. From my friends at USS, United Structural Systems, this is the company that helps me. They did. They've helped me a number of different times, most recently with my foundation. They're the company I trust, and I have trusted them for years. I'm a client of USS, and I endorse them highly. Call them, mention my name, and you're going to get that great deal. 615-488-7855, the back-to-school special. 615-488-7855. We guarantee our best. Call USS. You can find them online, USSTN.com. 7:52 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ken Weaver, what's coming up in the news at 8 o'clock?
As stock markets readying to open this morning after the Dow reported a rough 600-point fall on Friday. Wait to hear what happened in Japan overnight with stocks. We have Jim Ryan covering the second hurricane of the season so far. Israel bracing for retaliation, and some credit card and bank accounts. Police are asking shoppers at some Kroger stores in Franklin to keep an eye on those accounts after what turned up at several stores this weekend. Coming up at 8 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt Murphy for Members Nutrition. I want to tell you about the Members Nutrition difference, and I want to encourage you to go over to the Members Nutrition website. Number one, they believe at Members Nutrition that they can sell vitamins and supplements at a lower cost point, and they're doing it every single day at membersnutrition.com. Number two, they want to make these products right here in the United States of America, not from some overseas company, and they do that every single day. I encourage you to go to membersnutrition.com. You'll get 50% off your purchase price at checkout. You don't have to put in any codes. Just go to membersnutrition.com. Once again, membersnutrition.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionability, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com. $7:57, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As you can imagine, Mark Levin on his weekend show just on Fox absolutely obliterated President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris on what is going on with Israel. So I've got some audio from that and a whole lot more straight ahead. A lot of people asking me if I have heard of the interview that Byron Donalds did with George Stephanopoulos over the weekend. I actually did that segment in the 6 o'clock hour, but there were a couple of audio bites that I was unable to get to. I'll replay some audio from that and a whole lot more straight ahead on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here from My Patriot Supply. Listen, things are getting crazier by the day, and the crazier things get, the more sense it makes to call my friends at My Patriot Supply. Now, here's the deal. The left wants to take away your freedoms, your rights. You need to protect yourself and your family because it is that self-reliance that they cannot take away. Now, that's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Emergency food is part of that self-reliance, and that's how I can help at preparewithmandis.com. That's preparewithmandis.com. My Patriot Supply is the most trusted name in survival. Again, go to my website, preparewithmandis.com, and get your water filtration system, your charged solar generator, and yes, your emergency food as well. Go to preparewithmandis.com right now. You're going to save $200 off their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. That is $200 off per kit. You're also going to get free shipping as well. Preparewithmandis.com. That's preparewithmandis.com. And My Patriot Supply. You're going to save $200 per kit. And yes, they're going to throw in free shipping as well. Preparewithmandis.com.
Eight o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Welcome back to school, Williamson County. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now, the world is worried the U.S. is in a recession. Overnight, Japan's Nikkei plunging 12%. Its worst day since the 1987 Black Monday crash. Right now, futures show Wall Street is going to drop sharply at the opening bell in half an hour. Right now in Florida, Jim Ryan says the second hurricane of the 2024 Atlantic storm season has made landfall.
Winds were whipping Taylor County, Florida, as extreme rainfall caused flooding near the point of Hurricane Debbie's landfall. Trees are down across the Big Bend region, and power is out to more than 200,000 homes and businesses. The National Hurricane Center warns that storm surge is still a major threat.
Yeah, Debbie's expected to roll northeast through the Florida Panhandle, then into Georgia and the Carolinas, where heavy rain is expected through Friday. Israel is bracing for retaliation for the deaths of two top terrorist leaders last week. Here's Matt Rivers in Tel Aviv.
That response could come any time now, and it will likely take the form of at least a missile barrage, say analysts. That's what happened back in April when Iran responded to the killing of some of its military officials in Damascus, in the consulate there that Iran has. We saw hundreds of projectiles fired here towards Israel, and we could see something similar, if not even bigger than that.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, residents Channel 4 interviewed are speaking out about what they say is a dangerous intersection, where a crash between a sedan and a FedEx tractor trailer on Saturday left one person dead and 3 injured.
It's very dangerous. There's been many cars pull out in front of me and my husband on that road in that intersection. It is a little bit blinding because there is so much overgrowth on the road.
You have to come down almost to the street to see because of the bushes down there.
Yeah, this crash happened Saturday evening at the intersection of 9th and Ewing Drives. Franklin police telling shoppers to keep an eye on your credit card and bank accounts. This customer telling Channel 4 she was surprised to learn several credit card skimmers were found on self-checkout lanes at Kroger stores in Franklin.
I haven't ever suspected that somebody would try to steal, info from me here. I think it's becoming more and more prevalent, even in our safe little communities. We feel safe, right? Yeah. But we probably need to be more careful and have better ways to protect ourselves.
Yeah, these skimmers were found on some self-checkout credit card readers at the Kroger stores on Mallory Lane, Murfreesboro Road, and Hillsboro Road. Market Numbers Report brought to you by Beacon Capital Management. Online at beaconcm.com. Right now, Dow futures are down 1,289 points. S&P futures off 235. NASDAQ futures down 1,069. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. It's really simple. We bring you an all-cash offer. You close in as little as 21 days. No home inspections, no lock boxes, no open houses. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
Information fueled. Opinion driven. This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
We talk news.
808 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. By the way, Ken and Johnny, we're going to have a little announcement when Chris Hand comes on at 8:35 for the gang of four Amigos.
Cool.
It's a big announcement. I'm going to be honest, it's not really that big.
That's pretty huge.
No.
Oh, it's not even that.
It's really not that big of a deal. However, sell it, Mandis. Sell it.
Come on, Mandis.
8:35, big announcement coming up.
All right. Can't wait. Yeah.
When you find out what the announcement is, you two particularly may say, I can wait.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go get some coffee.
Yeah, I think I might get some water.
Mine's gotten cold.
You know what? The two of you, get. Just get.
Now get. Yeah, get, boys.
I love you both, and leave my audio up, Johnny, when you and Ken talk about me in the kitchen. Thank you. Lindsey Graham did an interview with Fox over the weekend, and, of course, was asked about the whole controversy regarding Kamala Harris's race.
The problem I have with Kamala Harris is not her heritage, it's her judgment. She has been wrong about everything. When she tried to explain what she would do about inflation and an upcoming recession, it made no sense. It's gibberish.
Yeah, and here's the thing. On a day like today, and I do have those Israel comments coming up as well, but on a day like today, where everybody is watching the market, what is going to happen to our economy? What is going to happen to our jobs? The futures look terrible. The Nikkei is down. The foreign markets had a terrible overnight. This is the audio bite that CNN and all of their friends in the liberal media and the mainstream media simply will not play.
Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up.
This is Kamala Harris trying to answer what she would do to improve the economy and price of things.
And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
Do you think that she's going to be able to fix this coming recession? Who do you trust more to bring jobs back? Because, all of this really started, currently in the last couple of days, we had the issue with the jobs report where fewer jobs were created. There are fewer jobs out there for the American people. That sent the stock market spiraling. And now we're looking at, coupled with the Fed keeping interest rates where they were, we have a situation now where today's stock market performance could be catastrophic.
And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
And why is she telling us this? We all know this. And so when Lindsey Graham says that Kamala Harris talking about what she's going to do to fix the economy and how it was gibberish and it made no sense, we're listening to it now for the 9th time, and the more I listen to it, the less sense that it makes.
That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously.
Really, Kamala? Because it doesn't really feel like it, because, number one, you keep telling us that the economy is fine. What's going to happen? Here's what I want to know. What is going to happen with this election when and if the stock market has a terrible day and it's not able to immediately recover? What's going to happen? Will that have an impact on the election? It should. It should, because what we're seeing today, or what we may see, is a direct consequence of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and their spending. I mean, remember what they've done. Remember all of the spending. Remember all of the Green New Deal type spending that they did, all of that government spending, infusing all of that money into our economy with right out of COVID, and they had this big, massive spending package, started giving folks a whole bunch of free money when it wasn't really needed. What they needed to do was get out of the way and spare us the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act. Both of those sent inflation skyrocketing. So then, as inflation skyrockets, and by the way, Kamala Harris was the deciding vote in the Senate on both of those pieces of legislation. So those come out. Then what happens? Inflation starts skyrocketing. So then what happens? Rising interest rates to try to cool the inflation. Now we are where we are. It is a complete and utter mess because interest rates are way up here. People have credit card debt. They can't buy homes. American dream is dead. Everything ties back to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So the question now is, will that have an impact on the election? Donald Trump's job and the job of the surrogates of Donald Trump and the Republicans, their job is to tie what is going to happen today to Kamala Harris and tie it right back to the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act. That's what they need to do. Shut up about where she's from. Shut up about how she identifies. Shut up about her low IQ and simply talk about the economy.
She's been in the witness protection program. Nobody will ask her a hard question. Every day we're talking about her heritage and not her terrible, dangerous liberal record throughout her entire political life. Is a good day for her and a bad day for us. So I would encourage President Trump to prosecute the case against Kamala Harris's bad judgment.
Absolutely. I mean, what more do you need? 8:15, Nashville's Morning News. Time to check the roads on Super Talk 99.7. Thank you very much. Sunny today and a high of 96 degrees. Thanks for listening to Nashville's Morning News and Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So all eyes are on the economy. All eyes are on the election. All eyes are on Israel. Now, they remain not only under attack, of course. They've got Hamas, they've got Hezbollah, and they've got Iran. Iran constantly threatening Israel. And word is, they're going to attack any time now. Iran is going to attack any time now. Remember that Iran took out some of the, remember that Israel took out some of the top leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah last week because Hezbollah killed a bunch of kids on that soccer field in Israel. And so now the world is awaiting the possibility of a retaliatory attack on Tel Aviv. Any day now. Could be today. Could be right now. Guy named Richard Goldberg worked in former President Donald Trump's State Department. He told Mark Levin last night that Biden is doing nothing to stop this. I will mention that Joe Biden is doing nothing to stop this, but he's also encouraging this kind of behavior.
Nothing. Actually, they've invited it all. They've shredded anything we had like deterrence coming into the last couple of years, and they continue to erode our deterrence as they pursued a nuclear deal with Iran. They wanted to get back to that old nuclear deal. They opened up spigots of cash. Right now, with everything going on in the news, right now, there is $10 billion being made available to Iran that the president could say, stop. We're not going to let you have that money anymore.
But he doesn't do it. And the question is why? Why doesn't the president understand that the threat to Israel is incredibly real? And so now there's headlines all across the media this morning. Joe Biden is going to meet with national security team ahead of the anticipated Iranian attack against Israel. Joe Biden is in the Situation Room. Well, here's the situation. The Biden administration sucks, and their ineptitude is what caused this. Because Donald Trump, with his sanctions, kept Iran down. Kept the money going towards terrorism, kept the money going to Hamas and Hezbollah to a minimum. because Donald Trump had sanctions that kept Iran down. Joe Biden comes along, and what did he do? I know that you folks have heard this 1,000 times from yours truly. Joe Biden lifted those sanctions, allowed Iran to sell all kinds of oil. They were able to get billions of dollars, and Hamas and Hezbollah, they were back in the money again and back in the terrorism business as well. So then you couple that with the Biden administration keeping the weaponry away from Israel as well. This is what this guy Goldberg, again, from the Trump administration, this is what he said about the weaponry and how Republicans in Congress are really angry. And the reason why Republicans in Congress are angry is because, in the Senate, is because Joe Biden is still keeping those weapons away from Israel. They won't give the weapons that have, by the way, already been approved by Congress. They're supposed to go to Israel, but Joe Biden is holding them back. This is what was reported last night on Mark Levin.
Right now, with everything going on, Iran's oil is allowed to flow to China, almost 2 million barrels per day going to China. The president could say to the Chinese, stop it. We're going to enforce our sanctions. What is he doing with Israel? He's withholding weapons. Yep. When he should be saying very publicly to Iran, we're going to make sure Israel has every last bit of munitions it needs to carry out any mission it needs to defend itself and to take out its terror threats. He hasn't done any of that. So what does the regime in Iran see right now?
Weakness.
They see weakness.
Thank you.
They see an invitation to escalate. Because what does the president say? He wants to de-escalate. He doesn't say, I'm going to back Israel if they need to counterattack against Iran or against Hezbollah or against Hamas or against the Houthis in Yemen. He says, Israel, knock it off. Get a ceasefire. We're going to withhold your weapons until you do. And we're going to keep the sanctions relief for Iran. That's madness. It's complete madness. And it is why we are in a situation of the Middle East on fire.
So this is from the Jerusalem Post yesterday. Senate Republicans allege Biden deliberately withholding defense materials from Israel. The Republicans later on Friday alleged the White House deliberately withheld 120 tank ammunition, 120 tanks, a bunch of the ammunition as well, mortar ammunition as well, light tactical vehicles, air-to-air missiles, and a whole lot more. So why is Joe Biden doing this? Because he is, and Kamala Harris, they are pandering to the far left of their party. And that is clearly a big problem, not only for Israel, it's also a big problem for America. And it should be a big problem for the Democrat Party. 821 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here to celebrate Team USA going for gold. Xfinity is offering a gold medal deal. Now through August 11th, get their best offer yet with 300 megabit Xfinity internet and one line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for a year and a free 5G phone. That's right. And the action doesn't stop there. Save on some of the biggest names in streaming by adding the new Xfinity Stream Saver with Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $15 a month. Don't wait. When the Olympic Games end, so does this fantastic deal. Go to Xfinity.com/Team USA. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply to internet and mobile. Stream saver price subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Free 5G phone requires eligible trade-in. Select models only. 822 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ken Weaver has the news at 8:30. Ken, what's coming up?
Now, Wall Street set to open sharply lower. Israel bracing for retaliation. The Carolinas and Georgia bracing for what's going on in Florida's Panhandle right now with Hurricane Debbie. And Vice President Kamala Harris running out the clock to pick her VP candidate. All these stories and more at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt Murphy for Members Nutrition. I want to tell you about the Members Nutrition difference, and I want to encourage you to go over to the Members Nutrition website. Number one, they believe at Members Nutrition that they can sell vitamins and supplements at a lower cost point, and they're doing it every single day at membersnutrition.com. Number two, they want to make these products right here in the United States of America, not from some overseas company, and they do that every single day. I encourage you to go to membersnutrition.com. You'll get 50% off your purchase price at checkout. You don't have to put in any codes. Just go to membersnutrition.com. Once again, membersnutrition.com.
.828 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you, friends. Chris Hand is into house. We got a big announcement that is coming up during the Gang of Four Amigos.
Boy, you are such a tease.
It's a big announcement.
Big.
He's into house.
He's into house.
Also, you know what I'm going to do, and it may be against my better judgment.
What's that, Brother Dan?
I'm gonna talk about, like, you know, people seem to love, and I don't know why, but they like to hear us talk about, like, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like the show within the show kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just had one of those moments that I probably should not share, but I'm going to go ahead and share because that's what I do.
Yeah, you do that.
Yes, you do.
And Mario, who has apparently been listening for the entire 4-hour broadcast. Thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but thank you.
That's dedication right there.
He wants to know that if I'm part of the hashtag Me Too movement after my situation at the Morgan Wallen bar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For people that were not listening at 5:35, I'm feeling a little Me Too-ish.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about why that is coming up next on Nashville's Morning News. Busy Bee HVAC. They're always looking for ways to save you money. Right now, they've got a great back-to-school special. Now, you buy a new high-efficiency HVAC unit, register to win the Healthy Hive giveaway. which is a $2,000 sponsorship to a local school of the winner's choice. That's really cool. Now, remember, at Busy Bee HVAC, they do plumbing as well. Right now, you get $500 off of a tankless water heater conversion, $500 off of a home drain repipe, and a whole lot more. And because you're a Beehive member, you can also get a free membership for a teacher, a coach, or a faculty member as well. Call them at 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com. They are your Rude Pro partner.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Wall Street set to open sharply lower just moments from now. Rebecca Jarvis says it follows Friday's 600-point fall.
On Wall Street, the selling's been very broad-based, but the tech-focused NASDAQ has been hardest hit, down more than 10% from its record high on July 10th. And you put all of this together, and it signals that a rate cut is coming, likely in September or even earlier.
Israel bracing for retaliation for the deaths of two top terrorist leaders last week, one from Hamas, the other from Hezbollah. And the Carolinas and Georgia bracing for remnants of Hurricane Debbie, which Governor Ron DeSantis says hit Florida's Big Bend as a Cat 1 storm this morning.
Going to be a lot of water that's going to be dumped throughout the state, and we're going to see effects of that. Not just today, but in the ensuing days.
80-mile-per-hour sustained winds, lots of rain. Election 2024, Vice President Kamala Harris running out the clock to pick her VP candidate. Several candidates still vying for the title. Here's Selena Wang.
Sources tell ABC News she met on Sunday with top contenders at her residence in Washington, including Arizona Senator and retired astronaut Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and popular first-term Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, a former prosecutor. Harris looking for a VP she can trust and, crucially, can help her win.
Market Numbers Report. Market Numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management. Online at beaconcm.com. And the sell-off continues. Right now, the Dow is down 1,124 points. S&P's down 225. The NASDAQ is down 1,061. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. Dan Mandis here. Did you know that Mark Spain Real Estate is the #1 most reviewed real estate company in America? They've got over 11,000 five-star reviews. They're going to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Now, this is hassle-free selling with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. This is the company you want to call if you want to control when you move. You can move as fast or as slow as you want. Call them today at 855-299-SOLD. The guaranteed offer is going to be great for you if you need to move. Call my friends at Mark Spain Real Estate, 855-299-SOLD. You can find them online. It is markspain.com. Again, this is hassle-free selling with the guaranteed offer for Mark Spain Real Estate. You can find them online. It is markspain.com, and start packing. Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I am so glad that California Closets has fixed my closet catastrophe. After exact measuring and planning, they came over and got to work. Yeah, once it was all plotted out on their 3D CAD system, the pieces are measured, cut, and precisely installed into my space. It was clean, fast, and professional, and above all, my new closets look and function great. Now, this was my dormer, and now this is my new dormer thanks to California Closets. Look at all of this added space for shirts and shoes, you name it, and it is cut so precisely, simply amazing. And my old closet that has now been reborn as the ultimate in style and functionability, making the best use of the space that I had. They can work on just about anything: bedrooms, garages, home offices, closets, pantries, and so much more. Find them online, CaliforniaClosets.com, and see what they can do for you. You can schedule a free design consultation. Mention my name, CaliforniaClosets.com.
.836 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello.
Hey.
My name is Chris Hand. Welcome to the gang of three amigos. Johnny B is here. He'll be amigo number one.
Thank you, kid. Thank you.
Ken Weaver is amigo number two. And
good morning, boys.
Look,
Yes.
nice of you to join us.
Could it have been this, Dan?
Where do you get these things?
It's from Brother Dan Mandis back in the day.
It's the best of.
Here's the thing. Are we actually on time?
Yes.
I'm a professional.
The latest you'll be is on time. Dan Mandis, everybody.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Brother Dan
Sorry about
Mandis.
that.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. It was tinkle time. I had so a couple of things real quick. So we've all hosted here. We're all on the air.
Yeah.
You ever be in the middle of a segment and really have to go tinkle? And you have to go tinkle so bad it screws up your segment?
Yeah.
That's what happened to me in the last segment. I was like trying really hard to get through it. And I just, it was
tough.
It was very, well, you'll notice if you go back and you listen to it, my voice gets higher as the segment goes on.
Looked like you were squirming a little bit too.
I was very much. I've had a lot of coffee today.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, Mandis.
It is, because I have to drink a lot. Otherwise, my voice is going to go. But then I'm going to drink a lot. Then I'm going to have to go tinkle. Then my voice is going to start to go higher. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How's everybody doing? Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. We had a fun weekend. Took the kids to see Monster Trucks yesterday at Bridgestone Arena, so that was pretty fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went and did Monster Trucks. Had a blast.
Monster trucks.
Monster Trucks.
What kind of monster trucks?
It was like some Hot Wheels monster truck thing. So there was
that
Monster
thing?
Trucks and
How they
there was
smash things up.
dirt bikes and backflips, and yeah, we had a blast.
You must be a conservative because you're embracing violence.
And I wore my Trump hat.
Well, actually, probably, I have a feeling there's probably a lot of Trump supporters out there.
I was among my people.
That's exactly right.
Among the brethren.
Yeah.
Did you get recognized?
No.
Oh, no. All right.
Oh.
All right. We do have a big announcement, and
I've been hearing you tease this, and I'm excited because I'm going to learn as the audience learns.
So we're going to. I'm a little worried about this. To be honest with you.
What
are you worried about, brother Dan?
Well, the good news is that we are having an presidential election party on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024.
All right.
It's election night.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
At the 1,000-seat James E. Ward Ag Center in Lebanon, Tennessee, the Wilson County Fairgrounds.
Wow.
Very cool.
1,000 seats?
Yeah.
Really? You think we can get 1,000 people in? I don't know about this, man.
Absolutely.
We're going to have overflow like a Trump rally.
Are we? Is that what we're going to have is overflow? See, here's the thing. All of our events, we do have overflow.
Well, yeah. Because we are their favorite radio station. Just like he's their favorite president.
So I'm just worried that we got 1,000 seats to fill. So you know what this means, right? Johnny and Ken have to come.
They have to.
We need seat fillers. I'm not.
Are we?
They gonna have stuff to eat?
Are we gonna have to do what the Kamala Harris campaign does and pay these influencers to arrive?
That's what we need to do.
Or we can invite some superstar to open up the evening with a concert.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should get somebody to twerk.
We should
get Morgan Wallen to throw a chair.
Oh my gosh! You know what, Johnny? You're in charge of twerking.
No, you don't want that, Dan. You want the people to stay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. So November, I should say, November 5th, Tuesday.
Do we have it for a few days as they continue to count ballots? How long is this party?
That was actually going to be my next question. Is all right. So how long do we have it? Do you think we'll know by election night?
No, they're already saying in Pennsylvania it's going to take a couple days.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they are.
Good old Pennsylvania.
They got to wait for those Philadelphia ballots to come in.
You know.
Well, we got to get them out. Got to get them out of Democrats' trunks. So
on November 5th, they'll be coming in 6th, 7th, and it'll be interesting because they'll realize how perhaps far behind they are, and magically they'll find some ballots underneath some sort of a table somewhere.
Oh, sure.
Right after the toilet starts overflowing, causing a massive flood.
We'll get those Maduro-style graphs. The straight lines up.
That's exactly right. Anyway, so so just put your plan to be in Lebanon on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. We'll all be there.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Hopefully.
Hype.
I got to work on my hyping of these events because that really wasn't hyped at all, was it?
It says we're not gonna. Are we gonna be able to fill this? A lot of seats.
We need some seat fillers.
It's like
Johnny and Ken.
Hello.
Johnny and Ken have to come.
Please come. Please come out to Lebanon.
If I were still in charge, I'd hire 200 part-timers and tell them to show up. That's what I'd do.
You kidding me, dude? That thing's gonna be full.
It'll fill.
We'll see.
I think it will.
We'll see.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
If we all come, I think it would.
I don't even think it matters if we do come. I think listeners will just go out there anyway.
Yeah, just party together.
I think it'd be fun.
It would be fun.
And you know what will be? It'll be roomy. Because usually our events are really like up close and personal.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
And so now we'll have room to roam, hopefully, and we'll fill, close to 1,000 seats.
Room to roam.
Room to roam.
Room to room. Anyway, whatever. So what else is going on? Oh, so I went to Morgan Wallen's bar this weekend.
You did?
I did.
How was that?
So it was interesting because, one, I'm not a bar goer.
You didn't want to be on Broadway at the time?
Well, I don't think that's actually on Broadway, but it's thereabouts. And Amy dragged me there.
Perfect.
And yes, that's exactly right. And but I had a great time, and did a little bit of drinking. And there was there's 3 levels to Morgan Wallen's bar. You ever been there?
No.
You ought to go sometime.
I probably won't, but let's keep going.
Just keep it going, brother Dan.
So I had a Me Too moment So
wait. Like a hashtag me too?
Hashtag me too.
Okay.
So we're on we're on the dance floor. And the band, there were some guys there that I believe that they were, gay. And so
okay. Yeah.
And so,
all right, we're painting the picture. We're setting the table.
So Amy and I are down on the dance floor, and Shania Twain's "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" comes up. There you go. Very good, Johnny. And when this thing starts, everybody starts going crazy, including these guys. How excited were they? Well, one of them thought I was another friend and grabbed my butt.
No.
He did. And I was like, man, I feel like I've been assaulted.
Well, did you learn your lesson about getting excited when Shania Twain comes on?
So, I was going to say, Amy said, you were awfully excited about that song coming on. You didn't show near the excitement when the band was playing Guns N' Roses' Paradise City, but Shania Twain comes on and, oh, boy.
The thumbs come out.
Thumbs come out, man.
That's when Dan started shaking his buttocks.
Well, I wasn't shaking it fast enough. The guy got me. So I turned around, and I clearly he realized when I turned around he was his friend. I was not. My butt was not the one he was expecting. So there you go. Let's go, boys.
That's another one. That's another one Johnny's going to be able to extrapolate.
Oh, man. We'll be saving that one.
And then in a year when it's, opportune time, Johnny's going to pull it out. Anyway. Some people have suggested that we make that part of the intro. That's not going to happen.
What was your reaction whenever that happened to you? Did you did they goose you? Did you kind of go, oh? Or did you, hey?
You know what? Neither. I was sort of like, I was in the moment.
Did you think it was Amy? Did you think it was Amy?
Yeah, probably thought Amy was.
No, Amy was in. I was grabbing her.
Oh, you were.
I was. Yeah.
Oh, you were.
I was occupied myself.
It was a conga line of tush grabbing, if you will.
It was. Everybody's game.
Anyway, so no, I turned around and I immediately realized it was
doubled
a mistake.
your chances that night.
0 for 2. Anyway, so.
Oh, Brother Dan.
Anyway,
please,
so it was.
Please stay the same. We love you.
We had a lot of fun though. We did.
So did any celebrity artists show up?
You mean besides me?
Yeah, besides you.
No, nobody.
Nobody showed up to play the new Morgan Wallen bar. All right.
No.
Yeah.
Upstairs, it was clear that they are pro 2A. Or not 2A, pro pot.
Oh.
I don't know why.
It was
why I said 2A.
It was a little skunky.
Yes, thank you, Johnny. That was skunky. They're probably pro 2A as well.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
But yeah, you walk up there and you just, you could just smell it. Very,
and then you get hungry.
Yeah. And then Brother Dan had to go find a taco stand.
Well, yeah, I'd had a lot to drink. Yeah. I did. I'd had a lot to drink. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
Great.
And Amy was like, we need to go out more doing that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, honey, whatever you say.
Well, let's vote differently next time. Let's get Orange Man in so we can afford to do it.
That's exactly right. All right. What do you have, Chris? You want to do Nancy Pelosi?
Yes.
All right. So we had fun with this a while ago. This is Nancy Pelosi. The drinking apparently started early in her world.
So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Sure.
I love how our justification is, yeah, but Teddy Roosevelt is up
Just
there.
take him down. That's all you got to do.
He's up there. Oh, Nancy, just hitting the sauce early on, boy.
The whole interview was a train wreck. Like, I don't know how. I mean, Leslie, of all people, Leslie Stahl is like.
She was taken aback by it.
Yeah.
With Teddy Roosevelt?
She's like, how in the world could you say that Joe Biden was at the top of his game and that he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Maybe on the butt side, but not.
You know what we need? Okay. Do you know what we need? We need to preserve Mount Rushmore, and we need to have another mountain of monuments, and we can start it with Joe Biden, and we'll call it Mount Ass Crack. So anyway, today's my last day on WTN.
Well, I thought it was weird that wasn't even the craziest thing a politician said all weekend.
No,
RFK Jr. said that he wasn't drunk and he killed a bear, or he found a dead bear, and then decided to leave it in Central Park because he was late for a flight.
Yeah. Didn't have time to harvest the meat. Because he had to catch a fly, so he just dropped it off in Central Park.
Because that saves time.
Well, yeah, everybody does that, don't they?
So,
oh, look, there's a dead bear. Let's get it and harvest the meat.
A car hits a bear cub, and they see this, and so RFK Jr. and a buddy back in 2014 throw the dead bear carcass in the back of their truck, and they're going to go harvest the meat. Because I guess it was still fresh.
This is the wildest part of the story, is that this isn't from the 80s or the 70s.
No.
This is from 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is just 10 years ago.
Yes.
And so they're trying to make their way back to wherever they are to harvest the meat. They realize that they're running late for a flight, so they dump the bear cub carcass in Central Park.
Yeah. Not going to make it.
With a beaten up bicycle to stage a bike accident.
Yeah, because somehow they think that the bike is going to, make it look like it hit the bear.
Well, somehow there was a bear in Central Park that got ran over by a bicyclist.
Yes.
And they weren't drinking.
Yeah.
And they weren't drinking. Which would have been a great out. I mean, that's Nancy Pelosi's out.
Yeah. This follows his story about the parasite eating part of his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had that too.
Yeah, sure does.
So I don't know. Do you think this will impact the election at all?
Well, he's pulling 6 or 9% in the polls. Watch for Trump or Kamala to go up by 6 or 9%, or they'll split it.
Yes. By the way, that was a big mystery. They kept trying to figure out how did this bear end up dead in Central Park. There's been a thing apparently.
And
in
it was a
Central Park.
Kennedy.
And it was a Kennedy.
Yeah. Always a Kennedy.
I mean, man, it doesn't get. I mean, you can't write this stuff.
No.
You had Chappaquiddick, and then you had the bear cub in Central Park.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I do agree, though. You don't want to leave a dead bear cub in your car at the airport over the weekend.
No, that would be a little ripe.
Well, I mean, if it's wintertime, it'll probably freeze.
Yeah. There's that.
Well,
it could, Brother Dan.
It could. Just depends on what time
I'm just
of year.
saying.
Yeah. You're right.
Listen, when our power went out in Indiana, and it was wintertime, we threw all the milk and all the meat on the back porch, and it preserved.
There you go.
Yeah.
And this probably wasn't wintertime, though, because baby bears are born in the spring.
Have you ever heard of falconing?
No.
Do you guys know, because I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier.
Do you know falconing? This is the life of a Kennedy. So they use birds of prey somehow to hunt animals. I don't know how they do it because I just learned about what it is, so I'll probably find out more later. But when I'm, sitting around wondering what the hell falconing is and how it works.
And then you and Murphy will challenge each other to some falconing.
You guys go out and buy a couple of birds.
Yes.
I guarantee you, Matt and I will not, challenge each other on our falconing skills.
You guys will accidentally buy some owls instead.
Yes.
Is an owl not a bird of prey?
It is.
Yes,
it is? Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use them. Well, I guess you could use an owl. I have seen people use owls like that.
All right, so do you know what a centipede turns into? This is going back to the 5 o'clock hour first segment. Centipede? When I shanked that.
It's not a centipede.
You mean a caterpillar?
I got to go.
You shanked it? You have to use the restroom?
Oh, I know, Dan. It turns into Miss Pac-Man.
I meant a caterpillar. Do you know what
we can close it out if you need to hit the head, man.
Yeah, we need to go one more time.
So, did you go to Morgan Wallen yesterday?
And the impact is still in my head. Walking around with all the pot smoke getting into my head? No.
The PTSD from the tush grabs?
Yeah. It's still having an impact. Hashtag me too. There was a time when I was like, hashtag I wish somebody would grab me on the tush. But, not. But unfortunately, it was, a guy. That's an issue.
What, man? I'm telling you.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
You got to save that one, too.
Hashtag I wish. I thought that was kind of funny. Hashtag I wish. If I say it another 5 times, will people laugh? All right. Anyway, do you know what a caterpillar turns into?
I would assume a butterfly. Is that what we're going with? Yeah. I mean, I feel like it might be a curveball trick question that he's going to throw on me last second. I don't know, Dan. What does?
No, because I shanked it earlier. Like in the first segment in the 5 o'clock, I said a caterpillar turns into what? I don't even know. But I just...
Yeah, what did he say?
I think he said, what does a caterpillar... What does a caterpillar turn into?
I said a moth.
Yeah, you said a moth.
It's the first day of school for a lot of kids. I think maybe I need to go back to school. Or basic, whatever that would be.
There's going to be some indignant kid in his first day of school. No. I heard on the news. Caterpillars turn into moths.
Starting the school year off very well, Johnny. That is an F.
We'll see you next year.
But Dan Mandis said...
The same grade.
Oh, man. Maybe it was a lack of sleep with the Morgan Wallen thing.
Might have been. Might have been, buddy.
Hey, Chris, what's coming up next?
Well, I don't want anybody to think that the laughter is fooling anything. The world is actually falling apart under the Biden-Harris regime. We'll talk about the economy. We'll talk about the Middle East. Plus, we have Sarah Segan from Parents Who Fight. She's coming in to discuss COSA and that bill passing. Plus, we have all the highlights from the Trump rally in Atlanta. And everybody says that Donald Trump is off message with the Indian versus black Kamala Harris comments. But I don't think he is. And I have audio to back it up.
I can't wait to hear it. 8:56.
What are you laughing
man.
at?
Nothing.
I love it. I love this stuff. I think he's on point and on message.
I think you're out of your mind. I love you, but that's fine. Whatever.
I love it, and I'm here for it.
You got to look at the socials, man.
The meme wars.
The meme wars are heating up.
We're winning in the meme wars.
We are. You have to win the meme war. You have to.
Yeah, you have to win the election.
You have to win the meme war first.
The meme war is the battle in the overall war.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
Very well.
Very well. 8:57, Nashville's Morning News. Loan Pronto, Dan Mandis here. How would you like to be free of car loan debt and credit card debt and no personal loans as well? Loan Pronto can make that happen. Now, they've got an Equity Express line of credit waiting for you. Now, you can tap into that equity in your home today and save you money on those high-interest loans. Yes, homeowners are turning that home equity into cash almost instantly these days with Loan Pronto's AI-based system. It only takes about 10 minutes. It is really easy as well. No documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. Just relief from those high-interest payments. So call them to get started. Tell them Dan told you to reach out. 615-499-5780. 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. 8:59, Nashville's Morning News on WTN. Dan Mandis here. If you need anything for your